What is up, No Bull Challengers? Right now, we are in the Drake Oasis backyard. We'll see if Tiger interrupts us. He may knock the phone off at some point in time, but I'm gonna wait and see if we get anybody on here first, and hopefully someone can get on here and tell me that, hey, these headphones are working and you can actually hear me right now. But I hope you guys are having a killer weekend. If you're watching this after the fact and I'm kind of just blabbing trying to get someone on, feel free to speed in like a minute or two just to get caught up. And guys, I'm putting it out here now. If we get at least 10 comments on the video while I'm on, I will bring the baby on. We will bring baby Drake on, but I got to get 10 comments from 10 different people because I like attention. What's up, Shannon? How you doing, girl? Oh yeah. So those who are also No Bull Challenge and the softball team, I heard we had a rough game last night. There we go. We got one. I need 9 more comments if you guys want baby Amelia on here. But the focus, nutrition talk conversation, right? So hopefully you guys are enjoying your weekend. We're getting into this midsection piece of the program. Lots of great questions. I feel like a lot of you guys are now dialing in and figuring out. I mean, I saw just a comment on here earlier today. I know my girl Rachel getting some pretty decent results so far just by cutting out a lot of stuff. Tiger's running around like crazy right now. Go, 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 go. But just by cutting out the sugar, cutting out the other stuff, I know there's a lot of figuring it out right now, right? Because you're changing a lot of pieces of your plan and program. And you guys have the workout piece dialed in. Keep coming into your GNO workouts. I love all the additional stuff that we're seeing in here as well. No bull, no excuses. Kristen, traveling, getting in workouts, because you got other stuff going on. You got to do what you got to do, right? So even if it's not at the Go House, get some workouts in. It's beautiful outside today. Go be active. Do something. Right? Hey, you know what? We got this beautiful baby just born, a day and a half ago. I'm going to get a workout in today. I'm going to make it happen either way. So, nutrition conversation though. I'm going to start out by addressing kind of an overall concept first, and then I'm going to address at least the 2 questions that I had put out here already. So, the bigger picture concept, what's up, dude, is I want you guys, during this No Bull Challenge, you have to be willing to rethink altogether how you think about food. Right? If you want to get to a place that you've never been, you've got to be willing to become a person that you've never been. And some of that has to do with how you were thinking about food and how you were approaching it. Now, I'll put out there, there's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying food, right? I think that food is meant to be enjoyed. Tiger, don't knock my phone over, bro. Food is meant to be enjoyed, so we don't want you to hate what you're eating. But during this No Bull Challenge, I also, as you go to eat something, grab something out of the fridge, as you're going to think about a meal, think about it a little differently. Not so much, man, let me think about what do I want to eat versus what do I need to eat. Right? There's a difference between eating for enjoyment, which is great, but I think honestly, especially during this No Bull Challenge, not every meal is going to be the tastiest ever, right? Because if it was, it would probably be higher in calories, higher in sugar, higher in other things, right? That's how our body processes things. If it tastes really good, our body wants more of it. It's a survival mechanism. So some of it, guys, you guys are working against yourself here. Hi from the soccer field. What's up, Wilma? I love it. There we go. Hey, we're getting comments in. Like I said, baby Drake might show up on this video if we get enough videos or enough comments. But does it always have to be enjoyment, right? So, Kristen, you posted a great question on here earlier today about the orange juice. Is it okay for me to have the orange juice? Now, again, my response to you was, well, maybe instead of is it okay for this plan? I think the question we should be thinking is why do I want to drink this orange juice? Is it an impulse in the moment, which is usually how we're making our nutritional decisions, or is it something that I need? Now that could be 2 things. Sometimes when you guys are under calories, you're underfed right now, you're in this dietary transition stage, and you might be, then you're going to have these urges, right? So if you are way too under calories, way too much, then you might have more of those. So you got to find this set point for yourself. And for me, it's like a kind of a reset every time. It's like, hey, you go to the fridge, you see something your kids are eating. Oh man, that'd be great right now. Let me drink a full glass of water first and then see how I feel. And let me see if that's actually a signal my body's giving me or if behaviorally I want some food. Those are 2 different things. So from that, again, is there anything inherently wrong with orange juice? Not necessarily, right? It's got some health benefits, but why not eat that orange? And your question, Kristen, was I guess maybe I don't understand. So Josh put a great response to your question on there, which is how many oranges did it take to make that glass of orange juice? You know, it's a concentrated amount of calories. So, you know, hey, that's not a bad thing. You're sick, you're trying to get more calories in, that's perfect. But for most of you guys, you should not be drinking your calories. You shouldn't be drinking lots of juices. If you want to eat a piece of fruit, eat a piece of fruit. It does make a difference in your body. Now, calories are calories, but how you feel. You're going to feel probably more full from eating the piece of fruit than you will from drinking it. You know, and that's because our body does not respond as quickly when it comes to our hunger hormones. Nerd science for a second, adiponectin, ghrelin, these regulate your feelings of hunger in the body. And those signals don't hit you as fast to tell you you're full when you drink the calories in, right? So that's great if you're trying to gain weight, you're trying to gain a lot of muscle mass, drinking some calories is a way to trick yourself. But most of you guys are not trying to gain a bunch of weight, right? So you don't want to be drinking your calories because your body doesn't recognize it as fast. You're better off eating that fruit. Take the time, break it down. You might get a little bit more fiber based on the fruit as well from eating it. So there's kind of your answer to that. All right, but back to, again, think about throughout the next 2 weeks, do I need to absolutely enjoy everything that I'm eating? Does it need to be a party in my mouth every meal? Probably not, right? Think about it as fuel. What am I eating to fuel myself? What's up, Kristen? Thanks for jumping on. So to answer 2 questions specifically, I know, Beth, you had the question. Actually, first, I think we had a question, what do I eat before bed? And then, Beth, maybe you kind of added on to that as well. So Anna, you might have put that in. So what do I eat before bed? Well, let's talk on one side too, because I want to give you the science to understand the body, and I only want to talk about behaviors, right? Us as humans, and you have to find this like sweet spot in the middle. So the science would say that it doesn't matter. The 24-hour period is what mattered. This old school methodology, Tiger, what's up, dude? This old school methodology that just when you eat the meal is the most important piece is not really there, right? If anything, again, if you look back at a pyramid, timing becomes like the top of the pyramid once you have everything else figured out, all of my good eating food. So really, if you're way under calories, let's say I expended, and these are all estimates, right? Let's say I expended 1,000 more calories today than I took in, right? For some of you guys, that you might be feeling really hungry. Maybe a 500 calorie deficit would be better. So if that means you have to eat a little something before bed, that's okay. Timing, eating something before bed, it's not going to make you store more. There's a lot of things that make sense in our head, and so it's like, oh, well, my metabolism slows down whenever I'm sleeping, you know, which there's some truth to that, but storage doesn't happen more, right? So if I eat that food before bed, I'm no more likely to store it than if I ate it at a different time. So that's one thing. From the scientific side, eating before bed, that you're going to gain weight, there's no research to back that up, right? So your 24-hour period is what matters most. Now, for some of you, though, if you need to eat something, what should you eat? Well, I mean, what else have you ate in the day? How active are you? There's a lot of questions we could ask. I would say for most of you, if you would stick to more like some sort of good protein and fat source, that might be best for you. And I say that because it won't take as large of an amount of protein and fat to make you feel full. Because if you're like me, I don't like to go to bed starving. I have trouble sleeping if I do, so I need to have a little something. So for me, maybe that's when, you know, when I'm not in the no bowl challenge, I might throw in like a protein shake and some water or a couple almonds or something else. But for you guys, it might be, again, some sort of little like protein, fat source. Drink some more water. Re-examine, is it a behavior that I'm used to eating something like tasting sweet before I go to bed, or do I really need some food? And then what that food is, well, it just depends. For many of you guys, you know, as long as if you're not getting in enough protein, hey, that's another great time to say, hey, let me get a little bit of a protein source in, if that's Whole Foods, whatever that might be. And maybe you got dinner and then you've got like a little snack afterwards. So what to eat? You know, I personally, my preference is protein and fat, but that's honestly because I'm not a sweets guy anyways. So is it going to kill you if you have some carbs before bed? No. But there is some good science on mixed meals as well. So mixed meals meaning, you know, rather than me just eating a piece of fruit before I go to bed, it sounds weird like to eat a piece of fruit and maybe some like almonds. But they say that mixing the carbohydrates, the sugars with the fats, it lowers the insulin response. And when it comes to you guys losing body fat, controlling insulin levels can be a valuable piece to that. And that's something that I've picked up from some of the registered dietitians and nutritionists that we've worked with for people who are really trying to lose weight. Controlling that insulin, doing some more mixed meals rather than just having that piece of fruit actually can have a better benefit. And it might help you feel full longer, because I don't know about you guys, if I go have a piece of fruit or like if I have some really honestly just like a carb source of any kind, I don't feel full for very long. I'm usually actually hungrier right afterwards. So mix it with something. If you guys, you know, feel free to ask questions on this video right now or later if you have exact questions like, well, what do you think about this, Joe? Maybe it's a hard-boiled egg or two before bed, you know, something to get in. And then I would say again, hey, you might have to wake up and pee, but, you know, suck it up, buttercup. Try drinking some more water. See, maybe if you have not gotten enough water in throughout the day, that could be a reason as well, right? So that eating right before bed, find something that works for you, all right? I will say, again, this is, if you're in the no bull challenge right now and you're going totally supplement free, again, you got to find a whole food source. If you are like, you know, hey, I'm still having an occasional like protein shake in there, maybe because some of you guys are plant-based eaters and you're really struggling to get protein in, or it's just hard for you throughout the day, tell you what, get some of that almond milk that people have posted about that has nothing else but those filtered water and almonds. Throw that in a blender with some ice and a little scoop of some, you know, appropriate protein powder that's approved for no bull, and that's kind of a nice, like, you know, for me it's my version of a treat before bed, and I'm getting some protein in and not a lot else. So that might answer your question as far as what do I eat before bed. Any other questions while we're on here right now, guys? Nutrition. What are you guys struggling with when it comes to no bull? Anybody? Bueller? Kristen? Any questions? I think for a lot of you guys, a lot of us know what's good, what's not good. It is tough prepping, you know, but trying to ask yourself, do I want this? Do I need this? Is this good for me? And then try to prepare as much as possible as you can. You might find yourself eating a lot more food right now, a lot more food. Wilma, everything. Wilma, be more specific for me. Eating while traveling. Okay, all right, that's a great question. So, Kristen, when you're talking about eating while traveling, what is your biggest challenge? Is it like having things with you? Like I know you were talking about eating some stuff on the airplane, and it sounded like you had some pretty good snacks. That's, you know, one great thing, because pretty much anything they give you on the airplane is probably not going to be no bull approved. But super hard when not in my own kitchen. Yeah, no, you're right. Don't be afraid when you go out to a restaurant. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm always happy to sit down and have a waiter or a waitress. And, you know, if I look through the menu and, you know, maybe I'm feeling a little picky, or I want to make sure I don't get something with a bunch of oil on it, I'll just ask them. I say, hey, I know this is a little bit off the menu, but I'm gonna tip you if you can make this happen for me. Like, I want some grilled chicken on top of some greens, and I don't want a bunch of crap on it, veggies, or, you know, a bunch of oil. Can you do that for me? And I can't say I've ever really been turned down, especially if I tell them I'm going to tip them well. Because for me, it's worth it to feel good when I'm traveling, because everything else is screwed up in my life right now while I'm traveling, right? My routine's off. So if I can at least keep my food good, then I'm going to feel better. So, or you got to go hit up a local grocery store where you're at, you know, go grab some stuff. Sometimes they've got some pre-made stuff there, or maybe there's some things you can easily eat without prepping. And then whenever you go out to eat, when you're going out to eat, for me, I stick to salads. I stick with no dressing, you know, to keep that crap off of there. Because even whenever you get things like dishes of chicken and fish and others, you know, those are usually some of your best options maybe to go with if you're a meat eater. But sometimes I always question too, like, what are they cooking this well with? Is this like grill fry? What kinds of oils? You just never know, because they're all over the place. So it's super hard when I'm not in my own kitchen. Thank you. I will try that. Yeah, you're rocking. Wilma, any specific questions? I'm going to give a couple more minutes on here. So balsamic vinegar, okay to add yourself. I love that. Absolutely. Now make sure you know the difference too. When you're at the restaurant as well, ask if is it a balsamic vinegar or vinaigrette, right? Because those are both a little different. Not that that's bad, but if you guys are at home as well, aside from vinegar stuff, red oil vinegar, white oil vinegar, white vinegar, white wine vinegar, red wine vinegar, that's what I mean. That stuff, there's nothing wrong with putting that stuff on there. And then when it comes to balsamic, again, maybe there might be some sodium in there, but just, you know, hey, a little bit, I love that. That's great. Honestly, even a lot of, if you look for something on top of salads or something to give it some palate, you know, you guys might find some salsas that are, you know, some good ingredients. Maybe it's making your own salsa, and that way you get a little, like, you know, it's not so dry and still has some good taste to it. So I think that can be helpful as well. And then Megan's done a great job of making some, you know, some salad dressings here at home, just with a little bit of, you know, a little bit of oil, a little bit of vinegar, and they're great. And you can season it however you want. So snacks in between, especially after working out. I always used to have a post-GNO afterwards. Wilma, great question. So some of it, there's no, now again, it's sometimes convenience-wise, getting some food in right after the workout is great, and that's where shakes come into play. So if it means even in your no bull, if you're really struggling, again, we do have a couple of no bull approved protein powders and other things that could be good to put in afterwards. But otherwise, just you know, go have a meal. You know, I know you might be hungry, drink some water afterwards. As long as you're getting food in that 30 minutes to an hour. You know, if you were like high-end athlete, bodybuilding competition, you know, they might say, oh, 15 minutes to 30 minutes, but really, you've got flexibility in that window. And if you can go get to some food, some regular food too, great, because that food actually might keep you full more than that shake will. And for many of you guys, you know, if you're eating a decent amount of protein, you're probably not going to be losing muscle mass throughout this challenge. If you are at least eating plenty of that and you're not too low in calories. So I would say snacks afterwards, you know, it's really just a meal, you know, protein and good carbohydrates. You know, a little bit of healthy fat in there, not bad at all, but I would prioritize. And for many of us too, just to give you guys a science, if you are macro counting, if you ever have, not that you need to at all, but the research shows that really for optimal, even just optimizing muscle protein synthesis and recovery after your workout, you know, 15 to 20 grams of protein for most people from a cellular signaling standpoint shows to still give you like maximal benefit. So any more than that, you know, for those people who are really trying to make sure they maintain muscle mass or even gain a little bit of muscle, that's great. You know, based on your body size, maybe it's 15 to 30 grams, just depends. You know, I'm not RD, so I can't tell you exactly how much. And then same thing with carbohydrates. It also does not take a lot of carbohydrates post-workout to, you know, optimally maximize that muscle protein synthesis. For many of us, it could be, again, 15 to 30. So that could just be a little protein, little carbs, sometime in that hour after working out. That's going to be optimal recovery. And then maybe, again, maybe you eat another hour or 2 hours after. It's got to be up to you and your guys' schedule. So those are great questions, though. Alex D, any nutrition questions when it comes to the No Bull Challenge? Anything that you personally are struggling with or would like some insight on? Is avocado good? I love avocados. Avocados are great. The only thing I'll say about avocados, avocado is definitely approved in the program, is just watch how much you eat. For me, I grew up in a family that loves to eat a lot of food. You might find it hard to believe. I was like a chunky kid, you know, would eat everything on the table. So I like large volumes of food. I still do. I don't try not to overdo avocado because I could eat like 1-2 avocados before I even know it, and that's a lot of calories. So they are calorie dense. That's not a bad thing. That fat is great for you. So yeah, avocado is great. Just you know, I would say look at how much you're eating. I wouldn't eat a couple avocados a day, you know, if I'm still eating a lot of other things. So, but I think avocado is a great thing to put in there. It's a great healthy fat for you, and that healthy fat is important for keeping you guys full and maintaining like optimal hormone production. All these things, healthy fat in your diet's a great thing. So afternoon snack ideas, Alex Demosthenes, afternoon snack ideas. Great question. You know, I mean, some of you guys are probably doing some of these things now. You know, if you're gonna do like, you know, a piece of fruit and some nuts, like mixing those is a good idea. You know, for some of you, like little protein snacks, if that's like actual meat, potentially hard-boiled eggs, you know, optimally. We may not have put too much out there either. You know, I know there's been some questions and we've been trying to say, hey, really try to stay towards whole foods and more away from bars. But I am going to post some photos of like if you absolutely need to have a bar mixed in your day right now because you're like, Joe, I'm in the office, it's just not working. I'm making so many meals and I can't keep up. You know, then I'll post a couple options for you guys that are, I think, the minimal ingredients, and from what I can understand, I think good stuff. Again, it's slightly more processed because you're making this thing with the bar, but you know, I mean, again, we gotta find that balance in life, and I think those are good things for you to think about afterwards as well. So either way, I think you know, trying to stick with those whole food options are good. So that would be great. Yeah, afternoon snack ideas, avocado good. Any other questions, guys? As I'm kind of wrapping up on here as well. Tiger's getting hot outside. Got a nice hot Florida day. Yeah, got my black coffee here right now. Might not be the tastiest, I get it, but it's all good. Nothing wrong with that. So either way, guys, keep rocking right now. Try to maintain. Again, use those weekends. Try to food prep a little bit. I mean, hey, talk about it a lot. If you need to mix in that food delivery service to make it manageable for yourself, but eat food, eat food, eat food. And this is a great time for you guys to explore some food options that you just haven't had before. You know, I think that's great. And thanks for the congrats on the baby. I'm sure you guys will be seeing more sometime soon. Yep, you got Alex D. You know, there's nothing magic really when it comes to like what snacks. It's like, what do you want to snack on? Find some veggies, some other things. It's not going to be as tasty as a bar, like I said, if you're used to those things sometimes, but you know, you got to get it down, baby. Right now, choke it down. It's the No Bull Challenge. Not everything is going to taste amazing, but think about it as fuel. You're fueling this machine, this body that you guys are trying to craft and build right now, and what's more motivating than that? Day to day, you got to stay hyped up on it. You know, get up in the mirror, look at yourself every day, say, all right, I got this. I know it's not going to be easy, not always going to be tasty. I'm going to have to give up a little bit, right, because I'd love to go out for drinks right now. But I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to look back in the mirror and I'm like, oh shoot, I see some cuts I didn't see before. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, cool, this is nice. I can maintain this momentum. But you guys got to get past that initial phase. Any questions? Christina, how you doing with nutrition? Any questions that you might have as you popped onto the video? Let me grab my man. Tiger, come here, buddy. Let's go. I know they want to see the baby, but what about baby number 2 right here? That's all I got for you now. Huh? What you got? Any questions, guys? All right, I'm going to be signing off. Tiger says goodbye. But if you guys have any, feel free to leave those questions and comments afterwards. I'll peek back on here today and try to answer more. And we'll do this again coming into next week. So, you know, be accumulating those questions, whether it's food ideas, whether it's like specific scientific nutritional stuff. I love all that. And so I'm down to get into it. And I say I was going to get off. Last thing I'll say, when it comes to pre-post workout, had some questions on that. Joe, what should I eat? Maybe you're normally used to eating a bar or something else. Find what works for you. Maybe that's, if I was personally going to say, hey, you know what, as we start to look at timing, because timing can matter. You know, if I'm looking at timing of certain foods, like for me, I'm probably going to eat fruit even more around my workout, or more carbs, more sugary things, you know, that are natural foods that are higher in carbohydrates around my workout, because your body just optimally likes to use that for fuel. You know, especially if you just crushed a hard workout, having something that's a little bit more, you know, carbohydrate centric, sweet potato, whatever. You guys have some of your smart carb options on here as well. Your body is most likely to just store that as glycogen. That is, you know, muscle glycogen, what fills up the muscles and gives us fuel. Also liver glycogen if you've been working out over an extended period of time. And a little bit of that protein carb magic mixing together sends the right signals to our cells to recover, regenerate, make sure you're maintaining the fuel for the muscles, and that you're also building muscle mass in the process. So either way, guys, keep crushing it. No bull challenge. Love it. I'll see you guys in the gym soon, and have a great freaking weekend. All right, baby.